States. From Addis in Ethiopia, I'm joined now by Jeffrey Sachs of Columbia University. Always good to have you with us, Jeffrey. We knew the slowdown was coming and was happening, but do you think this 7.6 reflects the real number, or do you think it's been massaged?
Well, we just don't know. We do know that local governments report to target and can easily over-report. We know that China is certainly in the most delicate moment that it has been in years. And there was a bit of relief that it wasn't worse today. That's why markets actually soared around the world. But I think there still is a huge question mark over whether the investments that were made in the last couple of years are going to justify themselves with tenants in new buildings, with commercial structures being filled, with infrastructure being used, or whether China will turn out to have made its own bubble. And
with this regard, we do expect, don't we, that as the year moves on, that the authorities will add liquidity, either into the banking system through reserves, or directly, or through some form of fiscal stimulus, because with a change of administration, the last thing they want is I suppose, no, it's not going to be a recession, but a miserable slowdown.
Well, that's exactly right. And in fact, they had already tightened last year, so we're seeing some of the results of last year's tightening show up in the first and second quarters this year. They've obviously signaled very strongly at all levels, and this from the top and at the central bank, as well as leadership of the government, that they're turning on the stimulus again right now. How this plays out, though, is hard to see. This is, again, a situation in which the whole world is simultaneously slowing down, and the uncertainty is enormous. The mood swings day to day, and I think we're just going to have a lot of uncertainty for many weeks to come.
Well, with that uncertainty in mind, forgive me butting in there, but should we be relieved at this 7.6, or should we be concerned?
I don't think that it added a lot of news, unfortunately. This is more or less what might have been expected, but it doesn't really answer the question of what's going to happen in China in the second half of the year, with Europe obviously still in a very deep crisis, with the U.S. economy really growing only marginally, with China's exports clearly hurting very, very badly. For the second quarter, they've gotten through, but it doesn't really tell us a lot about where they're heading in the second half of the year. Just not enough information today.
Jeffrey Sachs on the line from Addis. Have a good weekend, Jeffrey. Good to talk to you as always.